Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is HD StarCraft. Welcome back. And I just got done taking care of my puppy's elimination on my carpet. She definitely did. At the end of the last set I just casted. And here I am. Time to cast another IPL match. And I have the great pleasure to bring you guys WhiteRa and MKP. WhiteRa and MarineKing.Prime here in a Protoss versus Terran. Now, I do have to first off apologize and say the first game of this set was actually not in the replay pack. But I do know for a fact that Marine King won the first game. So what we're going to do here is cast from the second game onwards. And, I saw MKP and WhiteRa, and even though one replay is missing, I'm not going to not do it just because the replay is missing. It's WhiteRa and MKP. This should be a fantastic set, regardless of one of the games being absent. So very excited to bring you this. And once again, for reference, MKP up 1-0 in the game. Now, because my puppy has no control over her bowel movement yet, I have to put her on my lap because I don't want it all over the place. And so I am risking my lap area here. So if any point in this cast I do freak out, I'm giving you guys forewarning ahead of time, just in case that does happen. She hasn't done it yet though, so I feel pretty safe. Now, WhiteRa, the red Protoss in the bottom left-hand corner, of course. He has scouted off the barracks opening from MKP, and in Terran versus Protoss, this is the thing. It's almost like Terran versus Zerg in a way. Is he gonna get that SCV? Nah. You do not want to let the Protoss expand rapidly. Protoss is kind of like Zerg in this matchup. Terran has the most power in the mid game, but if you go into the late game, they severely diminish in terms of strength. And the reasons for that is because Protoss can tech switch very quickly. They have a lot more AoE damage in terms of Storm and Colossus. They can warp in things very quickly, and so Terran wants to end the game in the mid phase when they're best, when their power is best. So a lot of the game is going to come down to MKP here, I think, being aggressive against WhiteRa. Doesn't want to let WhiteRa expand rapidly. You'll note that WhiteRa here did not go Nexus first, and the reason for that is because he scouted Barracks first. You know, it's like a reaction thing. If the Terran goes Command Center first, you go Nexus first. If he goes Barracks first, you go Gateway first. So also nice that WhiteRa kept his probe alive here. He can get a confirmation on that Command Center coming down, and he can then say, okay, well, I know it's not going to be a 1-1-1 all-in, and he can kind of proceed safely from there. And usually, you know, if both players do expand, the game doesn't really take off until both players have secured both their bases, and they kind of go into a more comfortable style of two-base play, and then you start to see the bloodshed really start to begin. Wow, that's interesting. MKP here opting to go for a very quick third command center. This is a macro CC inside the base. This is not too uncommon against Zerg, but against Protoss, it is, I want to say it's slightly risky because Protoss can do some type of, especially WhiteRa, man, he can do something like a 7-gate all-in. And that would crush this macro CC. But the thing is that today's metagame, Protoss players are all about expanding. They're trying to take things to the late game. So maybe MKP is kind of trying to stay toe-to-toe here by saying, you know what, I'm a very good macro player. And what I'm going to do here is outplay the metagame. I'm going to go for a macro CC, and then I'm going to have a bunch of bio to follow up behind that. So we are going to have a very conservative game here in Game 2 after WhiteRa lost Game 1. Short of WhiteRa doing some type of all-in. If WhiteRa does an all-in here on 7 gates, +2 weapons, Blink Stalker, or some combination with Robotics Facility, who knows what, he could do a lot of damage. He could very well end the game. But that's if WhiteRa chooses to do so or not. Right now, a Stalker just kind of dancing around in front of the base. It's very common for Protoss to do that. And you know, you just kind of want to scout out the scene with that Stalker. And one thing I noticed in TVP here is in the hands of a very, very good Protoss player, you could actually kill off all the Marines with a Stalker, because a Marine only has 5 range and a Stalker has a little bit more than that at 6 range. So if your control is phenomenal, you can actually kill off a bunch of Marines, and that's why Terran doesn't really push out until they have a medevac or stim. So that's what we're waiting to see right here. Stim pack on the way on that tech lab. Haley, calm down, please. And while the game is really starting to kickstart, just wanted to say, make sure you guys do check out my Hardcore Journal number 2, which will be coming soon. A lot of very close calls. And it was a very, very fun stream session that I had. So you guys won't want to miss the highlights that I compiled together for YouTube. And look at this, it looks like WhiteRa will not be doing any type of all-in. He is going to gear up for a third Nexus. Although I will say this is a very fast Twilight Council. That's a pretty quick Twilight Council for a very quick charge upgrade and the ground armor. That is monstrously fast in terms of upgrades. He you know, he's pretty greedy right now. I hesitate to say ultra greedy, because ultra greedy would be double forges and a quick third Nexus. He's only gotten one forge here, but you know, it's pretty tech intensive and it's pretty greedy on the Nexus. And you know what? Because he's not all-inning, I want to say that's a good decision, because MKP is going uber greedy. Does he have a second engineering bay? No, he doesn't. But it's going to be a very long macro game here. And no surprise there, guys. Honestly, it's Daybreak. What do you expect? You know, it's a map that's huge. You would expect to see both players try to take advantages of all the economy they can. And we'll see, can this Stalker get a Marine kill? Can it do it? No, I think with the Marine retreating to the Marauders, it should be safe. And the Stalker is probably going to have to pull away. Stimpack about to finish up here, +1 armor on the Forge coming pretty soon here. Lot of gateways for WhiteRa, and if he had not grabbed the Nexus over here at the third so early, I would have been like, well, maybe WhiteRa is going to do some type of 7-gate all-in, and it's going to pay off great. But no, it doesn't look like he is, because he's got that, that Nexus at the third location, so this is just fundamental forces to hold off any type of aggression. MKP, though, I don't think he's going to be aggressive anytime soon. He's thinking about securing the third Nexus, or excuse me, third command center. One thing to note as well here is, I don't know if MKP maybe dropped a comsat and saw the Twilight Council. No, he didn't, but he's already got Ghost coming out. Great foresight right there. Maybe he just kind of deduced based on the movement, based on the units that came out on the field. But to be going for Ghost Academy instead of Starport Reactor Vikings, you know, somehow he knows that there is not Colossus coming. And he has gone for the proper response, which is Marine Marauder Ghost. And so his composition very good here from MKP. He could just eliminate WhiteRa here in the second match, which would be kind of a shame. I want to see WhiteRa win this second game if possible, and take it to a third and extended set. Here comes MKP, though. He is beginning to push out, and this is what Terran needs to do. They need to attack. They need to apply aggression. They need to push pressure on the Protoss player and cannot allow them to secure a third base. Charge odds all coming out now, so charge has been revealed. And MKP here going to be very happy to know that he has gone for the Ghost Academy, because anytime Protoss gets charged, Storm cannot be too far away. And oh, what a great line of force fields by WhiteRa! Oh, wow. And he's going to completely slice and dice the Terran army, and all map control now conceded over to WhiteRa, the granddaddy Protoss. This is looking very good for WhiteRa here in game 2. Ghost now beginning to come out 3 at a time, but Combat Shields is not done yet. It's about to finish with armor, and all of a sudden MKP finding himself on the back foot. I'm surprised he's not building bunkers right now. You know, one bunker here, one bunker at the natural would provide him a lot of protection, a lot of security in knowing that WhiteRa will probably not charge in, you know, recklessly against a bunker, but he is not. Here we go. No, just barracks. So he's just going to rely on his walling here, you know, playing a little bit of Tetris at the same time and playing StarCraft 2 to hope that that is going to be enough to hold off any type of attack. But here comes WhiteRa. This is the danger. And this is what Protoss players should always be trying to do, is switching up the tech. Going into Robotic Support Bay and then going into straight Colossus can totally throw off a Terran player, and the Terran player has to be acutely aware of how many Ghosts and Vikings he's got. He needs to have the right number. Vikings to deal with Colossus, and Ghosts to deal with the Templar. And wow, it looks like WhiteRa are going to attack through here, but the Tetris wall is up. Oh, the Ghost! What is MKP doing? Just sending in the Ghost haphazardly. Gets the EMPs off, however, but he did lose 1 or 2 Ghosts right there. But with the EMPs coming off, I think he should be okay. That was a really risky situation. If he had lost his Ghost without launching off any of his other EMPs, I would have said, you know, WhiteRa looking very good. And here we go, some Zealots warping in, or maybe perhaps just running in, finding themselves deep inside the economy lines. Going to be able to do some damage, and beautiful force fields by WhiteRa. He lost a couple of sentries, however, and now the snipes coming out. He wasn't able to kill off the Ghosts, and that's huge. The Ghosts are recycling their energy over time, and they will continue to be able to snipe an EMP. It's very important for Protoss to try to surround the Ghost with Zealots, with charge lots, and take them down, and most of the Ghosts survive there. WhiteRa still not letting up off the aggression, though. Has that outpost, that pylon over there, able to continue to resupply. And now the SCVs have to retreat. They've got to run for it. But this is the thing. This is what I'm a little bit worried about for MKP. While he actually has a huge lead in supply, 154 to 90. Wow, so maybe WhiteRa just, I don't know, maybe he didn't kill off enough workers, or maybe he's just slipping behind in his macro. I'm not quite sure how, but he is at 98 under 161. I will say, however, that one thing that WhiteRa's got going for him is he's got Colossus coming. He's made a huge switch into Colossus. And, you know, he's got double, triple Robo Bay, triple pumping Colossus right now. The thing here is MKP has mass ghosts, and he hasn't sniffed this out. He doesn't know that Vikings are coming. And you know what? You know, this could be one of the greatest Protoss comebacks of all time, completely relying on the element of surprise by switching up technology right away. And ghosts, I'm sorry to say, are not very good against Colossus. Their snipe does no damage. It's not a biological unit. EMP doesn't really hurt that badly either. You need Vikings. And MKP here completely on a ground-based biological army. Colossus laugh in the face of that. And WhiteRa needs this. He needs this so badly. This is his one shot to get back in this game. And, you know, one reason why he's so far down in supply, I guess, is because he tried to do this mass tech switch, and he hasn't really gotten all his Colossus out yet. Oh my god, MKP with a maxed army here coming in, so many units. Will WhiteRa have enough Colossus to roast here the bio units? He gets EMP'd, but now there's no Vikings, and MKP, his army is getting obliterated by this Colossus. WhiteRa at +2 weapons doing so much damage. Unreal. WhiteRa roasts and toasts, slices and dices, and completely incinerates the bio army of MKP. Does he have a comeback on his hands here? Bringing a probe to block the orbital command on the bottom right here, very wise. That's going to force units to come through and get rid of that. Otherwise, MKP cannot secure that expansion. He needs it right now because WhiteRa is going to a 4th base, and uh-oh. Dark Templar on the field, so WhiteRa now going to force expenditure of energy from the orbital command in order to deal with the DTs, and this DT finally forcing an orbital, forcing the comsat, but there's more DTs coming in, and I don't think MKP, okay, he's got enough energy for at least one comsat, and I thought for sure he was going to drop the comsat between the two DTs, but you know, sometimes when the DTs are in your base, all you can rely upon are the swishes of the scythe, and you don't really know where they are. It's hard to see the blur. So unfortunately for him, there's still one DT alive here. And WhiteRa can certainly do a lot of damage with that Dark Templar. WhiteRa here with an amazing switch up into Colossus here. I cannot believe how it's been able to repel the ground army of MarineKing.Prime. I mean, if you ask me to put money down, MKP is surely the favorite here by the Vegas betting odds. But WhiteRa still, you know, he's still not out of the woods yet. He's still very far behind in supply, and you know, one thing that's really shocking to me here is I don't see Viking production from MKP. I do see double starport coming though, so I guess Vikings will be coming pretty soon here. Dark Templar coming in, trying to do more damage. This DT just holding position, and a War Prism comes in. Special tactics on the move as Zealots are coming inside, and WhiteRa is pulling off the special tactics here, but the War Prism will go down. I don't think the Zealots are going to be able to do much, even though they're charge upgraded. They're in a labyrinth of Terran buildings right now. Perhaps it's all a distraction for the DT, though, which has gotten 8 kills. And another DT. WhiteRa is so sneaky and sly. He is the master of disaster, and he is definitely cooking up some disaster right now with those Dark Templar. Disastrous Dark Templars all over the map right now, and has he actually been able to even out this game with his DTs? Unreal. WhiteRa is insane. Look at how many starports are coming though. Triple starport coming up to, I think, add on with the other 2 that they're already on the field. I don't know where the other 2 went. Maybe the DTs killed him off or something, but you know what? MKP needs Vikings right now. There are so many Colossus on the map. He doesn't have the right composition to fight this, trying to spread out his Marine and Marauders, but it's not going to be enough. Look at how many Colossus WhiteRa has. WhiteRa laughing in the face of these biological units. These Colossus are putting the proverbial hat on their head, and tipping it down as they laugh down upon the units they have just killed. This is hilarious. WhiteRa is just walking around with these huge giant units, and he's killing everything in sight. There is no Vikings at all, and MKP needs Vikings now so badly. Look at how fast the units are getting roasted up. Oh man, WhiteRa with possibly one of the biggest turnarounds ever at one point in this game at 90 supply to I think 150. He was down by at least 60 supply, and now the War of the Worlds has returned. WhiteRa bringing the Colossus inbound, and MarineKing.Prime better hope he's got something here. He's surrendering, he's calling down the mules, and WhiteRa with a significant win here in Game 2. I can't believe it. I cannot believe he just beat MKP. That was not expected. I mean, before the game started, I said, okay, WhiteRa, MKP, you know what? The first game going to MKP, so the second game, MKP is probably going to win. It's going to be a quick one-game win for MKP here, but it'll be a nice cast to bring out on YouTube. But WhiteRa wins this game. Unfreaking believable. And I just want to draw your guys' attention once again to 2 points in this game. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The supplies at one point in this game so drastically in favor of the master of Marines, MarineKing.Prime. And let's see, 181 to 123 supply. Could you even think that WhiteRa could win this game? But you know what? One reason why he was down in supply so much is because he tried to make a switch into Mass Colossus. And it somehow pays off because MKP does not orbital scan. He does not know that Colossus were coming. And then this fight right here, this is another major point. This fight, how could he lose? He just does, man. He doesn't have any Vikings. So many ghosts died here. I mean, literally, I know ghosts, I mean, typically you think ghosts are already dead. Well, they just died once more into the afterlife here. And wow! What a huge turnaround. These Colossus are, they should be jailed up and locked up forever for the crimes they've committed today. They just committed an act of genocide. Look at how many units they killed off, and unbelievable by WhiteRa. That was completely insane. So WhiteRa wins the second game here. That's going to pull this set into match number 3 here, and I cannot wait to see what happens in Game 3 of this set. So it's tied up right now, guys. Hope you guys enjoy, and I guess I'll see you guys in game number 3. This is HD signing out.